Hey guys, I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I had a very nice Thanksgiving, but I'm kind of glad that it's over because we bought 2 pies to bring to my mom's, and before we even got to my mom's, because we bought the pies like 2 or 3 days before Thanksgiving, before we even got to my mom's, one of the pies was already gone. So I'm glad Thanksgiving is over because it's the only time of year that I eat pie. I'm gonna do a get ready with me video today, and I'm gonna chat with you while I'm doing my makeup. So I'm gonna start by putting my hair back so that it won't keep falling in my face as I'm doing everything. So yeah, I'm really glad Thanksgiving is over. I was really lucky. I only gained like 1 or 2 pounds from eating pie, but I ate, of the 2 pies that we bought, I think I ate more than anybody. So I'm really lucky I didn't gain a ton of weight. And I'm sure this week, once I go back to eating normally, because for the last 4 days my husband has been out of work, so we always eat different on the weekends and when he's home. So I'm sure that now that he's back to work and I go back to my normal eating habits, those 1 or 2 pounds will come right off. Alright, so the first thing I always do is EOS lip balm. And then the next thing I do is Benefit Ooh La Lift. This is an old container, so I had my husband cut the top of it off for me on the inside so that I could really get at all the product that was all in here, because this stuff is expensive, so I don't want to waste. There's like a ton of product in that section, so I don't want to waste it. So just go like that, and then take a Sephora Pro Airbrush concealer and just blend it in a little bit. And this is one concealer I use. I actually use, this isn't, I guess technically this isn't even a concealer. It's more like a treatment product. It's a brightener. It's supposed to brighten that dark circle. So you can see how that brightens the area. So I do that first. Then the next thing I do is my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. And this is just going to moisturize my skin and give it a nice base for my makeup. There's so many different kinds of primers, and you know, you need to definitely take into consideration what kind of skin you have, because if you have oily skin, you're going to want something totally different than this. But for me and my dry skin, this is really nice, so I just kind of spray this all over. And I'm kind of generous with this, and just kind of let that dry for a second. And then the next product that I normally use is my second concealer. Now, I said I wasn't going to buy anything else until after Christmas because we started our Christmas shopping, and you know, Christmas is expensive if you have to buy gifts for people and stuff. So I didn't want to buy anything else, but I think the last video that I posted later that day, I was at a store and I bought something, but I'm going to try really hard now not to buy anything else between now and Christmas. I bought something that I already have, but in different shades. Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles Concealer. I already had this in a couple of different shades, and I had another shade at one time, and the mechanism on it was broken, so it didn't work. I couldn't get the container out of the product. This is a shade, though, that I've never had before, and I think this is probably the best match for me because this is fair. The one that I had that the mechanism was broke on was light, and I think that was just a little bit too dark. I think I was able to get a little bit of the product out initially, and then it broke or something like that, so at least I did get to see how the color was. But I think that one was just a hair too dark for me. But this I've been using since I bought it, which was Wednesday. So I've been using it Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm going to use it now. So I've used it long enough to know that this is a pretty good match for me. And so I'm going to put some of that on. So you just twist it here, and it clicks. And then I just apply it directly out of the container, and the sponge blends it while you're applying it. But see how good that color is for me? Because it's just a hair lighter than my natural skin tone. So I feel like this is one of the best color matches for concealer that I've ever gotten. You always want to go, when you're buying a concealer for under your eyes, you always want to go just a little bit lighter. If you're buying a concealer to cover blemishes, that's a whole nother story. You want to match that to your skin as closely as possible. But for an under eye concealer, you want to go just a little bit lighter. So that's a really good color for me. So Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Dark Circles in Fair. So I am glad that I picked that up. And then I just blend it a little bit more with the brush. Uh-oh, did you see that? Right there. Bunch of product just coagulated there. Okay, so that's all set. Now the next thing I normally do is my foundation, and I've gone back to using my NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and my shade is Mont Blanc. This happens to me every year. In the summer and at the end of summer, the beginning of fall, I'm one shade, and then whatever tan I got over the summer goes away and fades, and then I have to go to a lighter foundation. So it's nice to have foundations in at least a couple of different shades, because I think this does happen to a lot of people. So this is a really watery, liquidy foundation, so you have to shake it up really well. This foundation is the most concentrated foundation I've ever used. You don't have to use hardly anything, and you get maximum coverage. And it's a little drying, so I don't use any kind of a powder to set it. So I just do this and I'm done with my foundation, which that's kind of nice too, because at my age, I'm 55 for those of you who don't know. At my age, it's kind of good to stay away from powders to a certain degree. Okay, so for a brush today, let's see, what am I going to use? Let's use this Zoeva 124 brush. So I just do one pump on the back of my hand, and you don't get a lot of product in one pump, which is fine because you don't need a lot. And then just kind of swirl my brush in there, and then I just kind of go in circular motions. But see how much coverage that's giving me? It just takes all that redness away. I probably have a little more redness today than I normally do because of eating bad things over the holiday weekend. And I put a little bit on my eye area too. That way I can use whatever I want for a eyeshadow base, and I don't have to worry about covering up discoloration or veining or anything. If I use a little bit of my foundation, that takes care of that. Now, I didn't even go back and use the second pump, and I usually do. But gosh, this coverage is just so amazing. Did I go back and get a second pump? I don't even remember. So I finished watching the 100 that I did the video on, so I'm going to have to do another Netflix pick video very soon because I've already watched a whole nother series now, beginning to end, and I'm on to the next show, so I'm probably going to do a Netflix pick video this week about the show that we just finished, which was excellent. I love Netflix so much. Honestly, we've seen so many good shows, and I always think when we get to the end, oh, you know, we're not going to find any more shows that we like, but we always do. It seems like they keep adding things just in time to catch up with what we're watching. All right, so I think I only did one pump. I don't know. Did I do one pump or two? I don't even know, but it gave me full coverage, no more redness, you know, everything's even. Not going to do powder, like I said, but I am going to put a little bit of powder on my under eye area because I have two concealers there. So not only that, but this powder helps with the brightening, lightening aspect as well. This is Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day Mattifying Powder. Now, you're probably thinking, mattifying? You're going to put that under your eyes? Yeah, it's not drying or mattifying at all. It's just like a very finely milled silicone powder. And I just use the thing that comes with it, the little puff thing, because what I do is I press it into that under eye area. That works way better than a brush for this particular section of my face. So see, it lightens it even more. Got a little too much in that one section there. So I love this stuff. And it's very inexpensive, but it just works really great for setting concealers. I suppose you could use it on your whole face if you wanted to, but I don't feel like I need to with this foundation. Okay, so that's it for that. And then the next thing I normally do is contour my face. Right now I'm using the Faced Chocolate Soleil Bronzer in medium/deep, which you're probably thinking, what? Medium/deep? Yeah. This is the perfect contouring shade for me. See how light that is? If this is the medium deep and it looks like that, I can only imagine how light the light must be. And I love my Real Techniques sculpting brush. So, oh, the reason why this is so small is this is a 100 point perk from Sephora. And once I realized how much I love this, I went right back the next day and got another one while they still had this as a point perk because, you know, it's just it's a good way to get free bronzer or free contour, the Sephora program. So I'm just dabbing a little bit of this on my brush. And then I just angle this up. And then I turn my brush sideways. And blend it like that. Okay, then the next thing I do is I usually take my Sephora Pro Flawless Airbrush. This is number 56. I use this as a blush brush now. I used to use it for foundation, but I love it for blush. I really like using a small blush brush. This is MAC Blushbaby. And what I do is Put a little bit of that on, and then I go right at the edge of that bronzer, and I just do the same line right above the bronzer. And they kind of overlap a little bit. Just like that. Then I use the same brush and I take my highlighter and I go just a little bit above that, right at the edge of the blush. Today I'm going to use Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in Peach Lights. These are so pretty. Pretty intense though, so be careful you don't put too much on your brush. And then I just go right across the top of my cheekbones, right at the upper edge of that blush area. My mom wants to learn how to highlight her face, and she didn't even use that word. She used something else. She had seen something in a magazine, and she's like, "Can you show me how to do that?" My mom has a different shaped face than I do. She has a long, narrow face, and what she wanted me to show her was contouring and highlighting. So I don't think it'd be a good idea to contour her face because it's going to make it even longer and more angled than it already is. I mean, she doesn't need contouring. She's already got a contoured face just because she's she's exactly the weight that she should be, so she's not overweight, and her face is already long and contoured, so she doesn't need to contour. And if she did, it probably would look too contoured, too thin, and it would look longer. So I think I'm gonna tell her to skip the contouring and explain why. But highlighting is actually pretty easy, so I don't think she'll have any problems with that. And she already has a brush that I think would work really well for highlighting. So yeah, that's gonna be fun because she doesn't usually express that much interest in makeup. So I was really happy that she had asked about that. So next time I see her, I'm gonna show her how to highlight her face. So let's see. Okay, so the face stuff is done, and you know what? Normally I would do the eyes next, but I think I'm just gonna do the lips just because I feel like it. This lipstick is Marc Jacobs New Nudes Sheer Lip Gel in Understudy, and I love this lipstick so much. This is what it looks like. This is one of the few lipsticks that I own that I feel like I don't have to do a liner. It goes on so nice, and I don't know, it doesn't need a liner. I don't feel like I need to define my lips when I use this. I don't know why, but anyway, it's a beautiful, like, peachy shade. This lipstick feels so nice. It applies so easily. It's, kind of expensive because it's Marc Jacobs, but I think it's worth every cent. Has magnetic packaging. So if you've been wanting to try one of these, this is a great color. It's Understudy number 114. I really, really love this, and I reach for this whenever I need any kind of a peachy type lipstick shade. I always reach for this. Never reach for anything else now when I need that color. I just love it. Okay, so that's that, and then so all that's left to do is my eyes. So I had kind of gotten away from my ColourPop eyeshadows there for a while, and I started using them again over the 4-day holiday weekend and fell in love with ColourPop all over again, which kind of stinks because if you've been following me for a while and you watched all my videos, you may have heard me say I'm not going to be ordering any more ColourPop, Makeup Geek, coastal scents, anything that you can only get it through the mail, because I had some identity theft problems multiple times. So yeah, the aggravation that you go through with that, to me, is not worth it to have it happen again. It's awful, and anybody who's had that happen, they know. So I'm only going to be buying things that I can purchase in person in a store and not have to order through the mail. So it's a good thing that when I did buy ColourPop, I went crazy and bought a lot, because, you know, I've got plenty to pick from, but I don't have any plans to buy anything else in the future. So, oh well. So I figured out this weekend that the perfect base for ColourPop eyeshadows is a NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. I have the one in Milk, because this just pretty much works for everything for me, because my skin is so light that I just put this all over the eye area, blend it in, and it's the perfect base for ColourPop eyeshadows, because ColourPop eyeshadows normally, or most of the time, are very glittery, and you can end up with a lot of glitter fallout. So this is a very heavy, sticky base, and it's just not gonna hang on to that glitter and keep it from going all over your face. So all I do is I just put some of this on my finger like that, and then just blend it all over the entire eye area. And just keep blending until you take down some of that bright white shade. And try and make it as even as possible. You could use a brush if you wanted to. I feel like the heat from my finger helps it blend better. Okay, so that's pretty even. Yep, so I fell in love with the ColourPop eyeshadows all over again, and I was using Meow a lot this weekend. That is a discontinued shade now, though. I'm so glad I got it while I could. It's a silver, but it's really pretty. So I was using that a lot. So I'm going to use something different today, because this top that I have on is kind of warm toned color. So we're going to go in a different direction today. Okay. But yeah, this NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk is a really great base for the ColourPop eyeshadows. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take ColourPop Tea Party. And this is a beautiful peach, because I seem to have a peach thing going on here. That my top is not really peach. To be honest with you, on the tag it said mauve, but this does not look like mauve to me. The lipstick is peach. You can use a brush if you want to with ColourPop eyeshadows, but I feel like your fingers work way better. Another option that you can use is a sponge tip applicator. Works very well with ColourPop eyeshadows, but I usually just swirl my finger in the pot and then just kind of tap it on. And I'm going mainly on the lid, but I am going up a little bit into the crease outer corner area. Like that. So it's going to be really subtle. And I've been doing a lot of just one eyeshadow looks lately. Very simple. Simple, easy, and, you know, nothing too dramatic. This one is not quite as glittery and sparkly as the one I was using over the weekend, Meow. Wow, that's really, really subtle. But I don't know, I've just been enjoying subtle lately. And I've also been skipping the heavy gel eyeliner on the waterline that I normally do, and I've been doing a kohl liner, tight line, and lash line. More so lash line than waterline. I like to switch things up every now and then, and you know, I'll do my makeup a certain way for a while and then I'll change it to something else. So this is Maybelline Master Kajal Cream Kohl Liner in Midnight Brown. So I'm just going to tight line. Like that. And then I've been doing, like I said, the lash line rather than the waterline. So let's see, let's start from the inside. I'm just going to go right along the lash line. Just like that. And then I'm going to take Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. And I'm going to start with the lower lashes. And then move on to the top lashes. Okay, we're almost at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to shut the camera off, go do my, fill in my brows, take my hair down, and I'll be right back. So I just filled in my brows with my Ardell Pro Brow Pomade in Blonde. I love this stuff. It's so easy. It doesn't make your brows crunchy like some brow pomades do. And this is a really good color for me. This is Blonde. And it comes with a brush and spoolie combo thing, and I did really like that. But now I use the Zoeva 322 brow brush. My friend June had sent me a brush collection, and I like the bristles and angle and everything on this brush. So I've been using that, and then I just run through my brows with this e.l.f. spoolie. This is really nice. It's only $1, but it's my favorite spoolie that I've ever tried. So these are the two things that I use with that. And this comes in 2 or 3 other colors besides this. So if you're on the hunt for a really great brow product, I highly, highly recommend this. So that's it for today, you guys. That's my Get Ready With Me video. I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I'll probably be back tomorrow with a Netflix pick video about the TV show that I just finished watching that I really, really like. So I'll see you then. Bye. Thanks for watching.